How do you start your morning? On the cold morning of January 2nd, 1990, Arthur Shawcross was cruising the Rochester countryside in his girlfriend's 87 Chevy when a police helicopter spotted him taking a leak off a bridge and decided to tail him. But wait a minute. Taking a piss off a bridge in the countryside isn't criminal activity.
Underneath the bridge, I could see a body.
Oh. It's because he was pissing on a dead person. Gotcha. Arthur Shawcross was born on June 6, 1945 and grew up in Watertown, New York. Pinpointing what the hell happened to him as a child is highly disputed by experts, mainly because Arthur Shawcross was a chronic fucking lawyer. He claims he was abused as a child by his mother and brother, which led to him sexually assaulting the local wildlife, but only one thing is for certain. Shawcross would change his stories at will, as he was interviewed by various professionals over the course of their investigation. At age 19, he enlisted in the Army and saw action overseas in the Viet-Nam War. The guy had a combat kill total of 39. It's pretty impressive. Aside from being a one-man Viet Cong killing machine, he also had a hatred for GI rations, so he made his own food.
I took 2 heads off 2 female enemies. I don't know why, but I took the left leg in a little fire and I was cooking that leg.
Only thing is, he's full of shit. Both these claims were later discounted as a complete fabrication, with authorities claiming he actually killed or ate a grand total of 0 people throughout his tour of duty. Unfortunately, this is one of those cases that never should have happened in the first place. After the war, he confessed to killing 2 children in Watertown. But due to a ridiculous plea bargain, he was charged with manslaughter and sentenced to only 25 years. Get this, after only 15 years, the self-confessed double child killer is back on the street.
But no matter where he went, Shawcross couldn't escape his past.
Yeah. He got his ass handed to him and was literally run out of Binghamton by a bloodthirsty mob.
Beast will make off with your children.
Who, didn't like the idea of a 2-time child killer being released into their community.
We're not safe till his head is mounted on my wall.
Drunk show up in my apartment. They're gonna kick my butt.
As soon as he could walk again, Shawcross and his 4th wife rented an apartment in Rochester, New York. How in the fuck this guy keeps on finding women to marry him is and will always be a mystery.
I met my wife at the family bargain store where you get all your bargains.
Oh, well, that explains it. But I guess it turned out to be a shitty deal because they got divorced after only 2 years. Women. You strangle 11 hookers to death and they act like it's the end of the world. Now, it's no secret that Shawcross wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Arthur Shawcross was not book smart.
Yeah, that's a bit of an understatement.
I'm not a smart man.
Put yourself in Arthur's shoes for a moment here, okay? Imagine you've been strangling hookers like it's going out of style for the past 2 years. Now imagine that the police just apprehended you after, let's say pissing or jerking off onto one of your victims from an overpass. And they brought you in for questioning.
This is a huge misunderstanding. I was really going out to pee.
What's the first thing you think you'd want to do? Probably remain silent and lawyer up, right? I mean, that's what they always do in the movies.
Better call Saul.
The last thing you'd want to do is put yourself at the scene of the multiple murders, right? Well, not if you're Arthur Shawcross.
What really got the investigators' attention was when he talked about his favorite fishing spots.
He's telling us about Genesee River Gorge. Oh, we've got a body there. He's talking about another place. Well, we've got a body there. He likes to fish here. We had a body there.
Shawcross was not book smart.
Book smart? I'm surprised this guy can tie his own shoelaces, let alone strangle people to death. But hey, just because your fishing lures got snagged on a dead hooker from time to time and you completely forgot to report it, that doesn't mean you're guilty, right?
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
Remember, If you're ever questioned about murdering prostitutes, it's best to remain calm and do your best to rationally answer the interrogator's questions.
I'll answer the question.
If you got nothing to hide,
You want answers?
the truth will set you free.
You can't handle the truth!
The last thing you'd want to do
Goddamn right I did!
is start throwing chairs around and flipping tables at the mere mention of the word prostitute.
He would slam his fist on the desk and get very angry, and he would just erupt. He said, I don't do prostitutes. I don't hang out with prostitutes.
Okay, so the guy gets a little fired up about hookers, but he's a family man. He's got a wife at home. How dare they ask him about sex workers?
Hard admit it, you can't prove anything.
But circumstantial evidence and a strong hunch weren't enough to hold him.
This case is closed pending further evidence.
The detectives had no choice but to release him. After dropping Arthur off in front of his apartment, the police just couldn't shake the feeling that the guy who just tore their interrogation room to shreds at the mere mention of the word prostitute, and who was caught pissing and jerking off on a dead hooker, just might somehow be involved.
Those guys are sharp as nails up there. You can't put anything past them.
So, overnight, they went downtown and began shopping his photo around to girls working on the strip. But I mean, come on, they're probably just wasting their time, right? Why would Arthur Shawcross lie? Immediately, one girl's like, oh yeah, that's the fat dude with Popeye arms. He pays me to blow him all the time. He's beaten up like every girl on the strip, like 3, 4, 5 times. So first thing in the morning, Arthur finds himself back in the interrogation room he destroyed the night before. Now I know what you're thinking here. Okay, round 2 of questioning. This time, the guy's got a lawyer up, right?
I really thought at that point he was going to lawyer up. And when he didn't, I was never more surprised and relieved.
You were surprised he didn't lawyer up? Just look at his face! Duh. I'd be surprised if his shoes were on the right feet.
Shawcross got in their car, and they drove to the place where the prostitute said she and Shawcross had sex.
Apparently, he forgot about that when he was frothing at the mouth while being questioned the day before.
Oh, her.
But so what? He had sex with a prostitute in a moment of weakness. Big deal.
It was a one-time deal.
That doesn't mean he killed anyone. All you have to do is deny, deny, deny. Stay strong, Arthur.
After only a half hour of questioning, Arthur Shawcross admitted killing Elizabeth Gibson.
Within hours, detectives had a full confession.
Ooh, how I've longed for this moment.
This investigation has resulted in the arrest of Shawcross in 8 of the murders, and 3 additional murders will be presented to the Monroe and Wayne County grand juries.
Their hunch was right all along. The man who they caught pissing and jerking off on a dead hooker was, in fact, the Genesee River Killer. In November 1990, Shawcross was tried for 10 murders in Monroe County.
Bring out Shawcross.
He pleaded not guilty. Anybody want to guess? Drum roll, please. For reasons of insanity.
She put a broomstick where? She put a broomstick where, Artie?
My butt.
But legendary forensic psychiatrist Park Dietz, he wasn't having it.
There's no evidence that Mr. Shawcross endured anything that might be called sexual torture at the hands of his mother.
Somehow, some people were still buying his bullshit. His ex-wife and his new girlfriend stood by his side the whole time.
He's not a monster. He is a loving human.
Oh, well, they were close to him. I mean, maybe he is just a big softy after all.
When I bet her, they were even. You know, we started fighting and everything, and I just strangled a bit.
Thankfully, the jury found him both sane and guilty, and he received a 250-year prison sentence. So why did he do it?
We asked him, could you give us a reason why you did this? And his reason was just taking care of business.
But of course, that's just another lie. So what do you think? Was it arrogance that caused Shawcross to refuse a lawyer during questioning? Or was he just really, really stupid? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've been enjoying the content, don't forget to murder that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, because we've got new content dropping all the time. And if you just can't get enough, you can also head over and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for even more killer content.